Newzroom Afrika's Mathe is speaking to the families of those who are in hospital, and she joins us now live from Saulsville in Pretoria. Ngobile, I can imagine that it hasn't been easy speaking to those who lost their loved ones. What have they had to say?
It's been very difficult indeed. In fact, when we spoke to some of these families, first of all, they were very shocked with regards to the kind of crime that has taken place in this area, saying that it's the first time that they've seen something like this. One lady details how her husband or her partner actually woke up in the morning at around about 4 o'clock, knocked on the door and said that he was actually going quickly out and he was going to come back, and he never came back. And is one of those people that have been currently identified to have passed away from that shooting that has taken place here. What also was even more heartbreaking was to see some of the family members that have come to the scene looking for their family members and not even being sure that they are currently here. In fact, there is an Mhlongo family that was actually asking around if it is indeed their brother that has passed away in the scene. And we've also heard from some of the other families that spoke of a man called Pambata, we were told, and he is basically one of the people that have passed away here, and they were saying that he was a very good fellow, and they were really just looking for him and wanted to find out for real if it was him, and they wanted to give details because they're saying that they need to go to Newcastle, that they've been in speaking terms with their family, highlighting what's taking place here. But of course it has come as a shock for many people for this crime to take place. But I want to show you now what's taking place. You'll see that the forensics pathology service truck has now arrived on the scene. We know that for a long time they've been waiting for them to actually arrive so that they're able to take some of the remains that are still on the scene. But on your right-hand side, you'll see that some of the people still just being onlookers on the side, but they're also family members that are still questioning with regards to how this incident took place. We know that it happened at about 4 a.m. in the morning when that shooting happened. Some of the people detailing that they could count over 24 rounds that went on for quite some time, and all of them, one lady saying that she even asked her children to go under her bed because she was so scared of what was taking place. But we know now that the provincial commissioner has been briefed with regards to what has taken place here, and he is going to be joining us just to give us details, especially because this is a great concern. It is a Saturday. Families are out here trying to figure out if the number of people that have passed away here, that it is indeed their family member. A difficult one, Provincial Commissioner.
Thank you very much. Greetings to us at home. We are seated here, all concerned, and it is unfortunate that we have to have a loss of lives for our community. I mean, a number of 11. It's not something which one has to say. We have just have a loss. Even one loss is too many. And of course, we're having injuries, of which is counted to 14. And amongst the deceased, there's a 3-year-old, which is a concern. You know, young life being taken, of which this particular individual was supposed to grow. Who knows? Maybe this particular person will be one of the leaders to lead South Africa.
Let's talk about guns, because we understand that this person has basically opened fire and you haven't been able to arrest anyone at the moment. Do we have a gun problem in Gauteng?
Well, I would say the issues of firearms, it is a problem, as you can see in this scene, and then firearms have been used. But I would say, as a South African Police Service in Gauteng, we are indeed recovering a lot of firearms. From April up until now, we got over 500 firearms, of which getting one firearm is something which we save lives. But despite these high numbers, you still have incident like this. You still have some of the incident which is related to the taxi violence, some of the incident which is related to the, I would say, the taxi rank and different spaces within the community.
And unlicensed liquor areas where people basically sell alcohol has been a huge issue. We know that in the past you have done operations where you go to these unlicensed liquor stores. in this situation, do we know for a fact that this was unlicensed, and what happens now?
Yes, of course. I think on Thursday we were in paying another installment for Operation Shanyelo in Sunnyside, Brooklyn, where we managed to deal with not less than 4 of those liquor outlets. We know for the fact that the liquor outlets is generators of the crime. In these instances, we know for the fact that the owner was selling this liquor without license, which is contrary to Liquor Act, Gauteng Liquor Act 2 of 2003, of which will apply the Liquor Act in terms of what is required for the person who was in charge of this liquor outlet.
Will you make an arrest there?
Well, of course, when I say we'll apply the law, this means that we have to appropriately process and taking into consideration that the person who is responsible for dealing in liquor without license is one of the victims who is injured. But of course, we'll have to apply the law to the latter.
And we see now the forensics truck has arrived. What's the process going forward?
We know for the fact that critically we having here on this crime scene 10 deceased, and the pathologist, forensic pathologist, they have to do the process flow after the Criminal Record Center crime scene management. They have processed the scene, and we can't be having these bodies for a very long time. They have to be taken to the government mortuary because it will look like it is inhuman to keep these people for a very long time on the crime scene.
And lastly, Provincial Commissioner, this is 11 people who have passed away. Surely this is something shocking. Are you bringing your best investigators on this case?
Yes, of course. This is one of the priority case of which we have to look into, taking into consideration last night in terms of the witness day. I have ensured that I put the team together systematically. You can see here is my deputy who was responsible for crime detection. Yesterday we had a special meeting in a telephone conferencing just to put our systems together in ensuring that we bring our best team to ensure that they have to follow through, so that ultimately at the end of the day we have to see this case or this crime scene, it gets resolved. Hence the Deputy Provincial Commissioner who is responsible for crime detection is here, and we really appreciate even the community. We are having the community MMC, the MMC who is responsible for community safety within the Tshwane is here. So we are really working closely together with the community in ensuring that the communities are and they feel safe. But we are very much concerned more so with this one, because dealing with the liquor outlets is one of the priorities as we launch the festive season or safer festive season plan in Tsakani, where we reflected that we'll give more attention in ensuring that people who are operating out of the framework of the law, they have to be seen that the law we apply as the law enforcement agency.
More boots on the ground, maybe?
Yes, of course. The other thing is that we had just a pass out of these new constables. We will also put additional workforce there. But as I always say, in Gauteng, we know for the fact that the supplementary workforce with your metros within the province, we are having over 10,000. Gauteng Traffic Police, we're having 4,000. Your E2 project, which have been approved by the National Commissioner, E2, it means eyes and ears. We're having over 215,000 of the security personnel, those who augment that. Of course, we have in the communities, or community in blue, we're having over 9,000, and of which that complement the workforce in terms of more boots on the ground.
And I know I said lastly, but have you perhaps have leads at the moment, perhaps that says who potentially could have done this? Have you explored any of those?
Exploring more avenues in terms of what it has happened here is something which we do oftenly. As I've indicated, that it is critical that we work closely with the community. As me and you, we know for the fact that these crimes are committed within the communities. And some of these crimes most probably are committed by the communities who are within this community. It might be some of the incidents where you'll find that people who have committed it are out of this area. But we know for the fact that someone, somewhere, he have seen this and he might know as to say who have done this, and we are calling upon those people to assist us so that we can resolve this crime.
Thank you very much. That is the Provincial Commissioner. He's joined by his deputy, as you can see there, the Ministry of Community Safety also on the ground, making sure that they really look closely into this incident that has taken place here. We know that, like what he's saying, that it's a difficult one, a concerning one indeed. We know that if you just look across, it spans across for quite a number of meters away where this incident took place. And of course, as he was explaining, forensics now coming in, they need to do their part in ensuring that those remains are taken out of the location into the area where these communities or these family members will be able to access their loved ones. It's still a great shock in Saulsville with regards to the number of people that have passed away and the kind of crime that has unfolded here. We're told it happened at about 4 a.m. in the morning, and there were quite a number of shots that the communities heard from what was taking place here. But a lot of them really remaining mum, mainly because they're scared of what happens in the area. If you speak to them, they'll tell you that they cannot speak on camera, which tells you that there's a lot more than what we are being told that is taking place in the area. But the police are saying they're hot on the heels. They are going to continue to investigate. They're going to work with the community to ensure that they're able to do that. They're able to close in on the criminals that might be responsible for what has taken place here. A tragedy indeed.
Absolutely, a big tragedy there. Let's hope that arrests will be made expeditiously.